Alright, Chopper Duke here with video 2 of our 2-part video series on swapping out AR parts. First video, we swapped the A2 grip for the Magpul Myad grip in flat dark earth. In this video, we're going to swap out this A2 stock with a collapsible stock, and for that we're going to go with the VLTOR IMOD kit, and I'll explain why we go with the kit in just a moment. So stay tuned. Alright, we're back, and to do this removal, there are 2 screws on the back of this. The bottom screw is only for this sling mount. Let's see if you can see that. See the sling mount? And the top screw actually goes into a buffer tube. Before we do that, again, we want to break this down. The lower here. Put the upper over there. So we're going to work with just the lower. First thing, go ahead and take your buffer and spring out. Notice I already have the hammer cocked. It's a lot easier for me, especially with this size buffer. So just a little more. And we'll zoom in on this. Right over here a little bit, so you can see what I'm doing. Now, on the lower here, you have a buffer retainer and a buffer retainer spring. I'm going to push that in just a little bit. That's going to let you pull that buffer out. Okay. Now I hold the hammer down because this is a long buffer. See, that's the original A2 style buffer. That's a nice long buffer. Set that off to the side. Same thing with a spring. These are a little bit longer than your collapsible stock for the M4s, so we'll set this off to the side as well. And we're going to work on this right here, okay? See the 2 screws? Go ahead, we don't need to take this one out, it's just for this. We're going to loosen this one off. We're just going to slide this stock off the buffer tube. Take our screwdriver, get in here. Doesn't take much. You can already see it's kind of there, it comes. Boom. Like I said, did that nice and slow, did it nice and smooth. Didn't want to go real fast, didn't want to do nothing jerky here. Okay? The reason being is there's a spring right there. Okay? So we can zoom in on that spring. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. I'm going to go ahead and slide this stock the rest of the way off. And be careful, there is a part in here. Little cap there. Spacer. Put it back in there. Set all this off to the side. We don't need it. Pull this up. Now that spring is for the detent for the takedown pin. Now if you notice, I'm going to go ahead and plug this out so it doesn't get lost, doesn't shoot across the room. Set this off to the side. See, we have just this right here, okay? Alright, see how loose that is? There's a detent there. Got to be very mindful of that. Now to remove this, okay? Now this has a kind of a funky end on it. See, the special wrench for this. You have the AR multi-tool. Don't know if all those have this style wrench on there, or this style end for this type of end. I picked up this Tapco wrench stock. Has the castle nut end. This is for the A2 style, and then this is for flash hiders like your birdcage style. So go ahead and take this in right here, and I pop it on over. You see it fits over that, and just kind of pop this loose. All right. So I got that loose. Now I can start taking it off with my hand. Just kind of put your thumb over there. Hopefully you won't be making a video while you're doing it. You're going to put your thumb over it. You don't really have to hold it in. Just kind of hold it a little second. And then as this loosens, you'll feel the tension come off of it. You just kind of pull it out and set it to the side with your other spring. So go ahead and take this all the way off. And that's why I took everything out of it. There's no tension on this. Okay. Now you notice there's no way to put a collapsible stock on this. It's just a smooth, it's a longer buffer tube. Wouldn't fit with a collapsible stock. Zoom out here. Okay. So, not going to fit a collapsible stock. So you have to get the kit if you're switching from this style. You can either buy your stock and your buffer tube kit separately. I went ahead and got them all together. I've got the VLTOR IMOD kit. So it comes with the VLTOR mil spec. This is a mil spec end. And it is the VLTOR. Has a little symbol. You can't see it on here. And then it's numbered. I really like this buffer tube because of that. And it's made for their iMods, or their mod stocks. So it's 5-position. So we needed that. Set that off to the side. Another thing we needed, because we're going from an A2 style to a collapsible style, is a stock end plate. You see it has this raised portion here. Okay, and then it has the VLTOR logo in there. Okay, now if you're putting on a sling, a mount type plate, you wouldn't need this. You just add that one instead. So we'll set that off over here. And then the castle nut. You see there's the bigger grooves right there, And then there's also the little tinier grooves, which don't actually go all the way through. So I'll explain those here in just a minute as we go through the process. So we'll set this over here as well. Okay. And then we have buffer spring, of course. Now this is the buffer spring from the A2 style, and this is the buffer spring from the collapsible style. Notice they are a little bit different. This one's a little bit longer. We'll need that. And then the buffers themselves. You can see there's quite a bit of difference. A2 style, collapsible stock style. So quite a bit of difference there. I'm gonna get my hands out of the way. So I mean, you can see that's, I'd say, almost twice as long. Again, we don't need this. We're gonna need this one. So we want to put it on here. Very simple process. Get this to set up here. We're going to take this. We're going to thread our castle nut onto this with the big grooves to the back. Go ahead and thread that all the way down. Okay, all the way on. We're going to take end plate. I'm going to stick it on like so. Now there's a little groove right here. You can see it, and then there's a little like nubbin. Look at that. Slide together. Keeps the stock lined up. All right, you wouldn't want your stock all cockeyed. You look like you wouldn't be tactical. You'd be a tactifool. So we're going to go ahead. Now that I've got this on here, again, I'm very mindful of this takedown pin. Go ahead and start threading this on here. Okay. Can you see that? I'm trying to do this, look at the camera and everything at the same time. So go ahead and start this, get this started threaded. And now I'm watching the hole right here where the buffer retainer and buffer retainer spring go. Okay, not quite to it yet. I'm getting close. I'm going to go ahead and take them. Now that I'm getting close, I'm going to go ahead and put them inside. Okay, and just like the last one, I'm going to be real mindful of this. I'm going to kind of hold this in place and start screwing this buffer into it. Okay, there, I've hit it. See, can't go any further on because I'm hitting that. Push the buffer retainer down enough and then come all the way around. There, I've lined that up. Now that's on there, and I've got this plate. Now I know I do not have the spring in there. I'm very mindful of that. I want to make sure that works. Good lineup. See, that's not going to rotate anymore. So let's go ahead and move that back. Now let's put in our spring for our takedown pin. So we take our spring, and there should be just enough room for me to kind of just slide it in there. See, I just kind of slide it, push it, boom. See? And there's still some space behind there. We'll take our plate, being mindful not to bend or mash our spring too much here. We'll kind of work that into the spot. Now if you notice, that's why that little divot is there. It fits in this hole back here. Keeps that from rotating. And then we will go ahead and finger tighten our castle nut. Okay, got that finger tight. Same wrench I just used on the A2 stock. Go ahead, stick it on here. Boom. Alright. Well, there's to that. Spring. Get in there. Okay. See, it's kind of pulling out a little bit. Buffer. Okay. Good. Get the flat spot lined up with that buffer retainer spring. And it's a lot easier to push it past that way. There you go. That's in. Okay. Put the stock on. It's the last part. Real simple. This style, you pull it to the front to put it on, and then when you adjust it to go from position to position as such. So we're going to put this on. We're just going to slide it in there. See, we come to that buffer. We're going to pull this up all the way on. There we go. That's it. Now all you have to do is reattach your upper, and you're ready to go. Before you really go out to the range though, you're going to want to stake these down. That's what these small parts are for. Take a punch, hammer, that'll focus on that, and you stake that end plate into these small parts right here. That keeps this from backing off while you're shooting. So if you have any questions, comments, whatever, just go ahead and let me know and I'll help you out the best.